Welcome. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to automate email sending using Run My Process. We'll create a simple process, design a web interface to input email details, and test it to ensure everything works perfectly. Let's get started. First, let's create a new project. Once you log into Run My Process, head to the Projects section. Click on Create New Project. This will be our workspace for configuring email automation and creating a simple web interface. Once you've named the project Email Automation Demo, select the organization Everbody from the drop-down menu. Then, click Save to create the project and generate the workspace. Now, go to the Processes tab and click on New Process. Let's name this process Main Process and click Next. In the Role Selection step, choose Everbody and select the organization Everbody for this demo. Click Confirm, and just like that, the workspace for building the process is magically created. Now, let's drag and drop a new activity onto the canvas. To complete the process, add an end event and connect it to the activity. Next, click on the activity and name it Send Email. With this, the basic process flow is set up and ready for configuration. Now let's configure the email sending activity step by step. In the drop-down menu, select Email Notification. This ensures the activity will send an email when triggered. Next, let's configure the recipient. In the field To Emails, we'll enter the variable that represents the input for the email address from our web interface. In this case, type email. Now make sure to check the option Notify via email. This setting allows the email to be sent as part of the process execution. For the email provider, Run My Process offers several options, but for this demo, we'll use the default mail server. This option is ideal because it allows us to send any email without additional setup. Select it from the drop-down menu and click Confirm to save these changes. Next, let's configure the content of the email. Within the Settings panel, look for the Message field. Here, we'll input the variable message, which will represent the content or body of the email. This variable will pull the text dynamically from our web interface input. Once everything is set, click Confirm again to save the entire configuration. Finally, to ensure everything is stored, click on Save Process in the top right corner. And just like that, we've fully configured our email sending activity. Now, let's move to the Web Interface tab to create the email input form. Click on New Web Interface. For the name, type Email Form and click Continue. Just like that, the Web Modeler space is created, where we can start building the interface. Inside this space, let's head over to the Widgets section to begin adding the components for our form. Next, let's add the input field for the email. Go to the Widgets section and select an input of type Email. Drag and drop it onto the canvas. Now, in the label, type Recipient Email so users know what to enter. For the variable name of this input, set it to Email, which we'll use later in the process. Back to the Widgets section and select an input of type Text. Drag and drop it onto the canvas. In the label, type Message so users know where to input the content of the email. Next, let's add a Submit button to trigger the process and send the email. Go to the Widgets section, select the Submit button, and drag it onto the canvas. Now, configure the button to call our main process. Select the process from the drop-down, click Confirm, and it's ready. Finally, change the button's name to Send so it's clear for the user. Now, let's click on Run Interface to execute the form. This will open the interface we just created, showing the email and message input fields, along with the Send button. Let's test it with some example data. Click on Send, and just like that, we've successfully created and tested the face of our application. The process runs seamlessly, sending the email with the data we entered. To confirm everything is working correctly, let's go to the Reports tab. Here, click on Run New in test mode. Select our process, Main Process, and execute it. Once it finishes, we can see the status, and if everything is successful, it will show as completed. This confirms that our process ran seamlessly, sending the email as expected. And that's it. In just a few steps, we created a web interface and automated email sending with Run My Process. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.